So I've been talking a ton about these two books, and neither of them is very new. In fact, I'm thinking of Ending Things is like 7 years old at this point, and The Last House on Needless Street's 2 years old. However, I still, I've been talking a lot about them, and there's a lot I don't necessarily want to say because I don't want to give away too much about the story if you haven't read them. But I figured these are two books I actually have, and I would, maybe go over sort of the blurb, the summary, and a few quotes from each of them just to kind of show some of what's so beautiful about the writing and about the styles. So I think I'll start with The Last House on Needless Street, and then I'm thinking of Ending Things. Okay, so first of all, this cover, gorgeous. Cat, house, creepy light, pretty much does everything you want it to do. It definitely gives you the mood and the tone of the book. So if you're interested in, other authors' input, there's blurbs by Stephen King, A.J. Finn, Joe Hill, Alex North, T. Kingfisher, Mike Mignola, Paul Tremblay, Christopher Golden, Rachel Hazel Hall, Adam Neville, and I think on the inside there's Sarah Penborough. So it says, something terrible is buried in the forest at the end of Needless Street. Are you prepared to find out what it is? And so the inside summary, I'm trying to show it a little bit. All right. In a boarded up house on a dead-end street at the edge of the wild Washington woods lives a family of 3. A teenage girl who isn't allowed outside, not after last time. A man who drinks alone in front of his TV, trying to ignore the gaps in his memory. And a house cat who loves napping and reading the Bible. An unspeakable secret binds them together, but when a new neighbor moves in next door, what is buried among the birch trees may come back to haunt them all. The Last House on Needless Street is an immersive and shocking journey that will keep you guessing until the last page. So what I love about this book is it's definitely going to take you on a journey. Like it's horror, it's suspense, it's mystery. And then every time you think you kind of have it, even if you get pieces of it, it just sort of surprises you again. And then at the end, it's just really a beautiful story. So here's the first page. It just starts with, today is the anniversary of Little Girl with Popsicle. It happened by the lake 11 years ago. She was there, and then she wasn't. So it's already a bad day when I discover that there is a murderer among us. Olivia lands heavily on my stomach first thing, making high-pitched sounds like clockwork. If there's anything better than a cat on the bed, I don't know about it. I fuss over her because when Lauren arrives later, she will vanish. My daughter and my cat won't be in the same room. I'm up, I say, it's your turn to make breakfast. She looks at me with those yellow-green eyes, then pads away. She finds a disk of sun, flings herself down, and blinks in my direction. Cats don't get jokes. So that's the opening. And then a couple other really nice quotes I had. I judge people 2 ways, on how they treat animals and on what they like to eat. If their favorite food is some kind of salad, they're definitely a bad person. Anything with cheese, they're probably okay. And then we have a chapter narrated by Olivia the cat. I know it's not her time. You can see. I know it's not her time, but I'm peering through my peephole anyway. Love is also hope. Gray sky, patchy grass, a triangle of ice sidewalk. It looks pretty cold out there. It's not so bad being an indoor cat on a day like this. Behind me, the TV plays. Something about dawn, streets, and walking. Ted leaves it on sometimes to keep me company. Sometimes the set just turns itself off. It's pretty old. You can learn a lot from the television. I'm also glad of it because it drowns out the screeching whine that is my constant companion now. Eee. I must have dozed off because I start when a voice speaks to me. At first I think it's the Lord and I sit up quickly. Yes? We must investigate trauma, the voice says. Get to its roots. Revisit it in order to purge it. I yawn. This Ted is on TV sometimes and he is very boring. I don't like his eyes. Round like little blue peepholes. I always feel like I can smell him when he's on, which makes my tail tingle. He reeks of dust and sour milk. But how could that be? You can't smell Ted's on the TV. Daytime TV is so bad. I think this is a public access channel or something. I wish I could change it. I think I should have my own TV show. And actually, it would be really fun. I would call it Catching Up with Olivia. And I would describe everything I ate that day. So that's just a little bit, little insight into The Last House on Needless Street. Again, I don't want to give too much away, but essentially it is a mystery of what happened to this girl who's missing. And then, you know, like this family and some of the things that have gone on and why they can't go out, why they don't go out and socialize. Dark, it's very dark, kind of sad, kind of depressing, but it's also very beautiful in its own way. And so I think if you're looking for something that, you know, talks pretty openly about, you know, some dark things, but in a way that's sympathetic and, you know, not exploitative, it's very well done and very well written as well. And then the other book is I'm Thinking of Ending Things by Iain Reid, which you may or may not have seen the Netflix movie, which is Charlie Kaufman. And it was a good adaptation, but I keep saying it's not the same as this book. This book is probably the best book I've read in years. So the summary is, okay, it says you will be scared, but you won't know why. That's it. So apparently I know there's a summary in here somewhere. Thought there was anyway. This is just why it's good. I could have sworn there is a summary in this book. But it's definitely creepy. It's a horror novel. Apparently there is no summary. So guess what it's about. All right, so I am going to go through and read you the opening and a couple other quotes throughout. I'm thinking of ending things. Once this thought arrives, it stays. It sticks. It lingers. It dominates. There's not much I can do about it, trust me. It doesn't go away. It's there whether I like it or not. It's there when I eat, when I go to bed. It's there when I sleep. It's there when I wake up. It's always there, always. I haven't been thinking about it for long. The idea is new, but it feels old at the same time. When did it start? What if this thought wasn't conceived by me, but planted in my mind, pre-developed? Is an unspoken idea unoriginal? Maybe I've actually known all along. Maybe this is how it was always going to end. Jake once said, sometimes a thought is closer to truth, to reality, than an action. You can say anything, you can do anything, but you can't fake a thought. You can't fake a thought, and this is what I'm thinking. It worries me, it really does. Maybe I should have known how it was going to end for us. Maybe the end was written from the beginning. Okay, and then we have another section. I listened to the first saved message. It's the voice message the caller left. There's only one question to resolve. I'm scared. I feel a little crazy. I'm not lucid. The assumptions are right. I can feel my fear growing. Now is the time for the answer. Just one question to answer. The messages aren't obviously aggressive or threatening. Neither is the voice, I don't think. Now I'm not so sure. They're definitely sad. The caller sounds sad, maybe a bit frustrated. I don't know what his words mean. They seem nonsensical, but they also aren't babble. And they're always the same, word for word. So, and again, this book really is just a story that what you think it's going to be kind of leads you in a bunch of different directions. It's dark, it's interesting, it's unnerving, it's creepy, but in all the best ways. So what did you mean when you said all memory is fiction, I ask? A memory is its own thing each time it's recalled. It's not absolute. Stories based on actual events often share more with fiction than fact. Both fictions and memories are recalled and retold. They're both forms of stories. Stories are the way we learn. Stories are how we understand each other. But reality happens only once. This is what I'm most attracted to Jake, when I'm most attracted to Jake right now, when he says things like reality happens only once. It's just weird when you start thinking about it. We go see a movie and understand it's not real. We know it's people acting, reciting lines, but it still affects us. So you're saying if it doesn't matter if the story I just told you is made up or if it actually happened. Every story is made up, even the real ones. Another classic Jake line. And then just finally another quote from this book. Have you ever been depressed or anything, I ask? I'm really sorry, there's no visual here. We've just made what felt like a significant turn. We'd been on the same road for a while. We turned at a stop sign, not at a light. Left. There are no traffic lights out here. Sorry, that was out of the blue. I'm just thinking. About what? For years, my life has been flat. I'm not sure how else to describe it. I've never admitted it before. I'm not depressed, I don't think. That's not what I'm saying. Just flat, listless, So much has felt accidental, unnecessary, arbitrary. It's been lacking a dimension. Something seems to be missing. Sometimes I feel sad for no apparent reason, I say. Does this happen to you? Not particularly, I don't think he says. I used to worry when I was a kid. Worry? And then it goes on. But again, like, I don't want to give too much away about either of these books, but I thought, you know, just kind of a taste of them might explain why I have such a connection, why these are my two favorite books right now, beyond things that I read, you know, decades ago or forever ago. So definitely check them out. I'm thinking of Ending Things, Iain Reid, and Last House on Needless Street by Catriona Ward.